Alright, I'm just getting everything sorted.
No worries, man. No rush on my end.
Alright. We got a few people already coming in. Good to see, good to see. One person already commented. I can probably already give a guess about who that was. Never disappoints to be the first message.
Who's that?
The one and only Barry J. Appleton.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go back. Well, Barry is Mr. Basil. And the thing is, he said that this is his favorite race, so we're gonna keep a close eye on him. But
Okay.
the thing is also, if we stay on 19 and we have a spot open, we could potentially have Freedom be Mr. Basil's teammate. So could be quite interesting. But we are here for 35 laps of the Canadian Grand Prix. I am Justin. I am here with Steve. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good, man. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, very good turnout today. Very good turnout.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting on one and we should have a full grid, but yeah, hectic race at Canada usually occurs, so with 20 drivers it just makes it that little bit more hectic, but should still be good.
Well, it looks like Tom, I don't know who Tom is in this race, and actually Lucas finally joined. Sorry,
There we
Barry.
go.
Well, sorry, Basil, but it looks like Lucas is going to be your teammate today. But yeah, Tom just said that he hates the Canadian Grand Prix. The layout is ridiculous. The thing is, I've actually been to this track in real life. Even though it was only I think it was Formula 2 or 3, one of them. Even though it was only that, it was such a good sight to see. Because I was there with like what's it called? I was there with like my dad, my stepmom.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, it was
I
very.
don't mind the layout of this circuit. I
Yeah, like for me, I
don't
like
think
it.
the layout's bad. Modern Formula 1 cars aren't great round it in terms of overtaking, but we could say that about most tracks these days. But that
Yeah.
should change with the new rules. But as a game, a track, slippy curbs, lots of places to get time penalties, but we should get some good racing. That's a nice long straight. Just don't try and lick the stamp and send it into the chicane, because it usually goes wrong.
Oh yeah, especially even trying to get into the pit lane. Because the thing is,
That-
if you're right behind someone, because the pit lane is like right after the what's it called, is after
The end
I
of
think
the
it's the
DRS
second
zone.
DRS zone. Yeah, the second DRS
Yeah.
zone. Thank you, Steve. Second DRS zone. And the thing is, you have to miss the braking zone of the chicane to get into the pits. And if you're stuck behind someone that's still doing their lap, it's going to take you a lot longer just to get into that pit lane. But yeah, we are
Ye-
about to start the short qualifying for Limitless DxT coverage of LFR Tuesday Night Racing Season 2, Round 8. I'm excited. I know you are, Steve. And I hope everyone
Mhm.
else that is watching, I hope you guys are excited as well. Because we're about to start the short qualifying and we have a lot of good contenders here.
What you were saying about the pit lane, by the way, you get a lot of people, if you're stuck behind a car, they try to go round them to get into the pit lane quicker, but that can cause accidents in itself, so
Oh yeah,
you're
especially if
entirely
you try to
right.
shoot on the inside.
So yeah, you're completely right. This is a dangerous pit lane to get into, but we got
Oh,
20
is it
drivers, we
cloudy?
got short quali. It looks cloudy, yeah, but dry.
It
I'm
is
hoping somebody
dry,
will
but
send us a
that could say
weather
something
forecast.
later on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to wait and see from the from our weather reporters. But yeah,
And
I'm gonna get
one other thing about quali as well is, because it's a short track and because it's a thin track, you do encounter traffic quite a lot of blind corners as well. So drivers just have to be aware of what's going on. As I think we've got our
Oh
first car
yeah.
leaving the pit lane.
Yes, we do, and I don't know who that is. We're gonna have to wait and see. I did see an Alfa Romeo coming out. The first person is Brian.
Brian,
Brian is gonna be the first one, and he is on the soft compounds. Looks like we have a few people trying to start with the mediums to begin with. There's a lot of people changing, but I'm gonna quickly go through the drivers championship standings as of today. So Tim Shapop in the Aston Martin is leading the Drivers' Championship with 106 points, and right behind him was Rabbi in the Haas, 97. I remember last week actually, them two had a pretty nice battle between each other, to see if anyone will actually take the top position. But as it stands right now, Tim Shapop is in first, Rabbi is in second. The young one is in third, so we're gonna have to keep a close eye on him. But he's quite far behind Rabbi in second place, whereas Rabbi has 97. Young one has 63 points, and tied with him is King Shapop, Joe, with 63 points as well, representing AlphaTauri. Roar 222 Ding in the Aston Martin with 47 points. DxT Flea with 44 points. Right behind him, very closely, Apex Finley with 43 points. Really close for that battle for 5th place. Then we have Dr. Wolfang in the McLaren, 40 points. If I'm reading, yeah, 40 points. Bugs Bunny with 25. Tommy in the McLaren with 22. But Bugs Bunny actually is not here in this race. So actually your teammate Steve for a different league, Richard, will be representing him today. We have King David.
A couple of guys, yep. Carry on.
Yeah. We have King David in the Alpine, 16 points in 11th. Bearded Dave in 12th. The Red Bull in 10 with 10 points. DxT Senna in the Williams with 8 points in 13th. 14th is Nem Vidic, the Mercedes, in 7th. F1 Farth in the Alpine with 6 points, but I'm pretty sure he has left this league. So he's completely out of the race from what it looks like.
Do you know why he left?
There was some altercation with the steward reports, and specifically my decision. So I described to him exactly why I gave him those points, but he wasn't happy with it, and as a little bit of a sulky teenager, has left the league, which is kind of upsetting because he is a good driver, but
no,
never mind
he's
about
a fast
that.
qualifier. I wouldn't say he's a good racer.
After that, actually, is Yo-Yo in the Mercedes with 4 points. Only recently joined Tuesday Night Racing a few weeks ago, so really good for him. So let's see. Oh, hold on. Then I'm gonna have to cut right there. I received word from Tommy saying that the weather quick change headed to rain and quali in about 10 minutes time. So there's a 23% chance of rain currently, and it could come in around 10 minutes time, and the race is fully rain for the actual race. So possibly staying in the back with a more downforce build would be best.
Yeah, if you've seen that it's going to rain in the race, it may benefit you to put on a wet weather setup. As I think, did I see rain coming down there, or is that just the screen? I don't know. But yeah, if you could put on a wet weather setup, change your suspension, get a little bit more aero in the car, a bit more higher wings, it may not benefit you in quali as you were saying, but it will definitely benefit you in the race. And this is a track that can require quite a bit of downforce as it is.
Hold on.
What's happened?
Tough Wave has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous position, but the thing was, he was actually letting people through. So, but also he shouldn't have done it on the straightaway. He should have done it at the end of a turn. So I do understand the
stewards.
the stewards in the actual game for that decision. And to be honest with you, I do follow that. So he will be starting from the back of the grid.
Did he come to a stop?
He did come to a full stop.
Yeah, that's
but
where
the thing is,
yeah.
It was the location. He was on a final straight, so it was not the greatest for him there. But we've looked enough at the tires that everyone is driving today. We're gonna actually be looking at DxT cons. I remember yesterday's race when I was racing with him. He was me and him had a really close battle in Silverstone actually. Really close battle between me and him. So my respect for DxT cons, especially only recently getting the upgrade of a wheel. Amazing stuff from him, in my opinion. So I tip my hat to you, cons. But let's see if you can bag in a lap. And he's on the mediums actually. Quite a strange. He's probably gonna be starting from the back of the grid today, seeing if he can get a shotgun start with the rain. But hopefully these guys had looked at their weather. So if not, then they will be basically screwed at this point.
Well, that was the other thing, Justin, is if you've looked at the weather report and you've maybe adjusted your setup to go with that, then why are you going out on medium tyres at all? If you're going to be starting on wet weather tyres, it does not matter what tyre you qualify on. So you may as well put on the reds and qualify as high as possible. If they've looked at their weather forecast, there's no reason at all that I can see to be out on the medium tyres. Although I will say Jake Sabre has put in a superb lap on that set of mediums. He's only a tenth off Tim Chapot, but if he went and put on the reds, he could be higher.
He would, but well, I mean, he could have a improved time. Doesn't always guarantee a better position sometimes. But
No, of course not.
but that just comes down to skill. But DxT Cons makes himself all the way up to 9th place on mediums, where I'm gonna check with the other drivers. I think some of the other drivers below him. Yeah, so names like H. Bosworth, Mr. Basil, Nem Vidic, and Boosted were all on the softs, where Dark Stomper and Flea were behind him on the mediums. So pretty good turnout for Cons. But actually, I just looked at it. Jake Sabre goes up to 2nd place on mediums. Really
Yeah, that's what I
good
was
time
saying,
there.
yeah. He put in
Really
a great lap.
Imagine
Jake
him on the
Sabre, but that's
softs
what I was
then.
saying. Yeah, if he put on the softs and managed to move his way up the grid, then yeah. So if it's a definite start on the wet weather tyres for this race, I don't see why there's 4 people out there on mediums. So
Well,
you're gonna have a look at that. I think a lot of these slower times, by the way, some of the ones near the back, they've been caught up in traffic and are not able to get a clean lap in so far. I was watching Boosted and Flea, and it doesn't look like they've both had clean runs on their fast laps. Just to let you know.
alright, well, it looks like it's going to be your man just finishing his outlap on Richard, representing Ferrari today. And, actually, the thing is, when it comes to the Canadian Grand Prix, especially when it comes to the Formula 1 game, you have to take these corners with such a quick reaction time, because if not, you're going to go completely wide and potentially lose a position. Or if you do it too early, you're going to hit those curves and then start spinning it in it, and then you're basically out of the race and out of contention.
Yeah, 100%. You're totally right, and you've also got to watch that you do have the good reactions to turn in at the right time, because not only will the curves spit you out, but the penalties that can be accrued in this track are quite high. There's 3 very fast chicanes where it's very easy to just go on the wrong side of what the game wants, and it will give you a penalty for doing so. So,
Yes, it
got to
will,
watch.
but
I've seen a few
I'm actually
invalidated
gonna
laps.
I'm actually gonna stay on the camera of Richard, as he did set a purple sector 2. Whoa!
Oh!
Who was that?
It's an Aston Martin. I don't know which one.
It was
Oh,
Roar.
it's a Roar. Roar trying to come into the pits.
Roar,
but
that
he
was
basically
that was
stopped.
seriously dangerous there.
He didn't need to
stayed.
come to that
He
big of a
stopped.
stop.
Like, he did a full-on stop
Yeah.
on the actual track, on the racing line before the actual chicane, and because of that, Richard hit the back rear of that Aston Martin. That, in my opinion, just because of that, that could potentially be a race ban. That could be a serious race ban. And Tim Chapop is disqualified from the session for going the wrong way, as he has spun out. Actually, did he
Yeah, I
spun out?
don't know.
No, he actually led someone through, but to get back onto the track. Oh wait, Tim Chapop
He
has
said
been
he was driving the wrong
disqualified.
way. He was driving the wrong way, so he's been disqualified, and he'll start at the back of the grid as well. And to go back to Roar, you're completely right. He had no reason at all to be going that slowly. Whether you're coming in the pits or not, you look behind you, you see there's a car coming, you get out the way. So for me, that is dangerous driving, and although we can't do it, I would disqualify him from this qualifying session without a doubt. So
Do you think that
Richard needs to put.
Do you think it could potentially turn into him being disqualified from this race in general?
I leave that down to the stewards. I don't know what his driving record's been like in the past, but that was super dangerous, and he's caused a guy who was on an extremely fast lap, and I know he's my friend, I'm not saying anything just because of that, but he's caused another car to crash out in qualifying and start at the back of the grid, whilst he's up in third with no damage. So, for me, yeah, he needs to be severely penalised for those actions, because that's not on.
Well, I'm actually looking through the rules and regulations right now. So, when it comes to this league, if you get 15 points, it's a quali ban. And if you get 30 points, that's going to be a whole race ban. And what we do, we actually categorize the incidents in 3 factors. If it's a minor, you get 2 points, major is 5 points, and severe is a whole 15 points. So I'm actually going to look through this real quick to see and it looks like a severe collision. That's a severe collision. That is a
Mhm.
severe incident with 15 points. And causing someone to crash, causing someone to DNF is 5 points.
So that's 20.
So that's 20. Bad spatial awareness is another 2 points.
Could say 22.
Could say 22 points there. Major wing damage because of that. So that's another 5 points. So he's up to 27 now. But let's...
Could be looking
Dangerous
at a race
conduct on
ban,
track. Dangerous conduct on track. That's another 5 points.
So you could be looking at a race ban. It's just whether your stewards wish to hand that out at Canada or for him to not take part in the next race. And also, Justin, I do believe it's raining on track
The rain
now.
is coming in. The rain is indeed coming in now. It's a little bit of a sprinkle, so the slicks are still going to be good enough. But I actually want to get a word from Richard at this point. Can you check with him to see if he will be down to join the party? Because
I will have a look.
that has got to be outrageous for the Aston Martin.
He's just sent me a video of the incident from his point of view. I'm just watching it just now. And he comes down the straight. He's on the racing line. He's waiting to turn in for the corner, and there is an Aston Martin, and that car is not moving. I've not seen anything like that in my...
I was actually on board with Richard when that happened. I was on board with him.
I can't say what Richard said because it's got a few expletives in it, but I'm sure you can imagine what he's been saying about that incident.
Well,
let's ask him.
Let's ask him to see if he wants to talk right before. Actually, no. We'll talk to him after. We'll talk to him after this. But we'll talk to him after the actual Grand Prix. But to the people that are watching, if you saw that incident from my point of view, of course it's definitely blatant and obvious that it was Roar's fault at that point. But I want to hear from you guys. How many penalty points would you give this man, Roar? And to be honest with you, with that race ban, that's gonna hurt his championship standing push. Even though it is his teammate Tim Shapop that is on top right now, even when it comes to the constructors, that's gonna be a huge blow, as that's gonna give the team of AlphaTauri or the Haas to get an overtake on them. Because the Haas is only behind the Aston Martin by 3 points in the Constructors' Championship. So if he gets a full race ban for the next race, that fight could potentially be done for.
Just put that video in the chat. So for any of the guys that are watching on the YouTube stream, if you are on the Discord, if you have a look at the TNR general chat, you can see the video now from Richard's point of view.
I'm actually watching it right now as well.
So you can see exactly what happened and how ridiculous that is.
That is absolutely outrageous. That is absolutely outrageous from Roar. I'm sorry. The thing is, I'm a steward, so I'm going to do it as harshly as I can, because the thing is, from his point of view, the thing is, when it comes to the pit lane, the braking line is actually past the curb. Is actually past the chicane.
It was past where he was stopped, so he had no reason to be there. And if he thought that's how you get out of the way of someone else, I don't understand that thinking either. If you want to get out of the way of someone else and you're going in the pits, you go in the pits.
Like, for me, that is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, I don't.
That has to be worse. That has to be worse than a lot of real life incidents, to be honest.
I mean, in real life, that's potential to do a lot of harm.
Oh, actually, Tommy, thank you so much, my friend. He is our quote-unquote weatherman today for the Canadian Grand Prix. So he just sent me a message. He gave me an update on the rain for the race. About 30 minutes is scheduled for the race to be rain, but after 15 minutes it's meant to stop. Wait, what? Hold on. So basically, 13 minutes of the race. 13 minutes. 30, not 13. Sorry. 30 minutes of the actual Grand Prix will be full rain. Complete rain. 15 minutes after the rain has stopped, the slicks will come into play. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure the race will basically be finished at the end of that.
Yeah, you're about 45 minutes for a race. A little longer with the wets, but
if you were doing a 100% race, okay, that would make sense. But since with this league we only do 50%.
Yeah, yeah, that should still be about 45 minutes. It might be a little longer because of the wet, is what I was saying. So you might get a little bit of slicks, but it doesn't look much like it. I see there's two guys out on the inters just now. Obviously, they're not going to go faster. Actually, there's five guys. Not going to go faster, but you might as well go out and get a feel for how it's going to feel in the race. I know it may be full wets, but a slick track, slick curbs, you may as well go out and have a feel of what that might be like. Get your braking zones down. Just see what it you might be up against.
Yeah, but it looks like we actually have some people taking taking a few laps on the intermediates. But of course, with this time, they're not trying to get a better lap time. They're probably going to try a more downforced build with the amount of practice that they have in this qualifying session with those intermediates. But for me, I'd say I don't think it's going to be even intermediates. I think it's going to be wets. And also, Yo-Yo is struggling. He has broke his whole well, not whole of it, but like the guard on his left front wing coming off at the chicane. Let's see how his teammate Nemvidic takes that turn. He's actually on the slicks still,
Yeah,
and you can
he's not going
tell
to have much grip out there.
he's definitely not. You can see that he is um from my point of view with Nemvidic, he is struggling to get some grip and also is trying to stay in the like lower revs than optimal.
He's getting wheel spin in fourth gear there with not a lot of throttle, so really definitely not slick weather tyre out there, but all he has to do is drive around and that's it, qualifying finished anyway. So looking at this though, this is how your grid's going to start, the way that it looks just now. So a very good lap by Lucas to get up onto pole. Jake Saber did it on the medium, so that just shows exactly how fast he is around here.
Oh yeah.
A little surprised by Rabbi, and Tim Shapop got disqualified for driving the wrong way on the circuit. So that puts a little pop into this because they're fighting for the Drivers' Championship at the moment, and we did see Tim Shapop come through the field last week in Italy. This is a harder track to do it at, so it'll be interesting to see how far up the grid he can get. But with the wet, there may be some safety cars involved. Anybody else we should be looking out for?
I'd say well, we gotta check out that battle between King's Home and Rabbi when it comes to the wait, is it Rabbi? It might be someone else. I might be getting it wrong. But I'm gonna quickly go to the driver's standings. Yeah, so we gotta look at King's Home and Young One. Well, wait, Young One's
Okay.
not even here, so it looks like Lucas A. Germany is gonna be representing for the Constructors Championship. But
Alfa Romeo, yeah.
basically, if King's Home gets any sort of points in this race, he will be above Young One and will be in third place for the Constructors Championship. But we're gonna have to look at Tim Shapop and Rabbi, the two leaders of the championship. And then we're gonna look at the battle for fifth place with Roar, DxT Flea, Apex Finley, and Dr. Wolfang. And Dr. Wolfang isn't here neither. So I'm trying to figure out who is representing him. Boosted. Boosted is
in the car,
representing
yeah.
Dr. Wolfang here today. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, it looks like a lot of close battles for the Drivers' Championship. But would you like to do the rundown of the starting grid?
Yeah, I'll have a look at it. So, up in pole we have Lucas, A Germany in the Alfa Romeo, very good lap with the 109.4. Only 10th behind and on the harder compound medium tyres is Jake Saber, great lap by him. Roar, causing an incident, has been given a 5-place grid penalty by the game, so he's qualified in third, but he's going to start in 8th, which means Markey will move up. Brian Vanderberg is teammate just behind him. Rabbi will move up to 5th. Kingzone will move up to 6th. Yo-Yo will move up to 7th. DxT Cons will stay in 9th. King David in 10th. H. Bosworth, Dark Stomper, Mr. Basil, Tommy, and then down in the lower reaches of the table is Flea, Nemvidic, Boosted, Richard, Tim Shapop, who got disqualified, and Tough Wave, who also got disqualified.
Yep,
So
but
it
now we
should be
are
an
about.
interesting one.
It's
Yeah, there
gonna
you
be
go.
a very interesting one, definitely. I think we should still give Tim Shapop. Oh, hold on.
Oh, it's dry.
It looks dry.
It's very dry.
Oh, okay. So Lee just sent something in the chat. Hello, Lee. Thank you for watching. He says it's gonna be a dry start and then it will get wet near the end of the race. So, do you think we could potentially see a remake of Lando Norris in Russia?
We could do, Jeff tends to come on the radio, but he doesn't always come on at the right time. So it will be interesting to see the changeover. Some people come in a little early, some people come in a little late, but it will be very interesting to see how that one pans out. So do you know roughly how long into this race we'll have the rain? Sorry.
If I remember Tommy's message, it should be 15 minutes in, but
Okay.
we're not too sure. Actually, Lee. Well, actually, no. They can't really do this right now because it's about to start the formation lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. But the thing is, I still can't get over that. I still can't get over what Roar did during the qualifying. I seriously cannot. That
No,
was
so he did say
seriously
that
dangerous.
he has said he didn't see him coming, but that doesn't excuse any reason as to why you'd be stopped on the track. If you're
Yeah,
about to start a
it
lap,
doesn't
that's not the
matter where
fastest
you
way to
are.
do it. And if you're going in the pits, why are you stopped? So yeah, that doesn't compute for me. But we'll leave that to the stewards after the race. I would say, for me, he should count himself lucky that he's getting to drive in this race. He has been given a 5-place grid penalty, so I don't know if the stewards will take that into account as is. But yeah, he gets to keep going. Richard, who was on a very good lap, as you said, he just gone purple in the second sector. All of a sudden finds himself starting in 18th.
Honestly, I feel horrible for the man. I feel utterly horrible for him. But thanks to the Amazon Prime coverage, we will be talking. It just displayed the pit stop strategy, and we're looking at a potential 2-stop with a soft, medium, medium for the one for the starting soft runners.
Yep.
And actually, we have like a lot of red on this board. Only a few mediums. Jake Saber behind Lucas on the mediums. King's Home behind in 6 with mediums. DxT Cons on mediums. Then we have Boosted and Tim Shapop both on mediums near the back of the grid. And when it comes to the
Are you?
mediums, it could potentially be a one-stop with a medium hard run. But oh wait, actually no, it would not because of the rain happening later.
So that's how it would go if it was a dry race. You're right. You could possibly do red, red, yellow, or red, yellow, red if you start on the softs. You can do medium and then do double soft, or medium to hards if it was to be dry throughout. The thing is, with the way the rain's coming in, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get those mediums until rain time. They probably won't go that far. So they'll probably go yellow, red, and then rain, and the others will go red, yellow, and then rain. So it'll be just interesting to see when that rain actually does come down, how quickly it comes down, and who has the brain capacity to come in at the right time and get that changeover. So it'll be really interesting, but I thought there'd be maybe more medium runners, but it's going to be interesting to watch DxT Cons, King's Home, and Jake Saber to see if they fall back down the grid or if they can keep up with those on the softer tyres. So yeah, an interesting one, but it should be good fun.
Alright, well, it looks like all of the drivers have completed their formation lap and are getting ready as we wait on Tim Shapop and Tough Wave to ready up. Luke is on the outside, well, actually the inside line of a turn 1. Jake Saber on the outside, front row. It looks like we're about to start. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The engines are roaring. The crowd is cheering, and away we are for the Canadian Grand Prix. Amazing start for Jake Saber, gonna battle Lucas on the outside of turn 1. Oh, now he has the inside of turn 2. Big battle between them, and Jake Saber takes the lead off of the first few turns. And looks like a close battle. Oh, we do
There's
have
a
a
poor start
caution.
behind by one of the Red Bulls. I think we do have a yellow flag further back. I don't see what for. I think
It's
everybody's
a
still
Dark
on the track.
Stomper. Dark
It is
Stomper
Dark.
has spun off of the exit of turn 2.
And Roar has had a very poor start. Remember, he started in 8th, qualified timing-wise in 3rd. He's now in 16th. So I think he had to come in together in the first couple of corners. Keeping an eye on H. Bosworth. Sorry,
Do you think he did? Do you think Roar did that on purpose to see if he can sway the stewards from starting near the back? But
he may have to put his footage in, but he is just falling down the grid right now as he goes down to 17th.
Oh, hold on. Brian almost spun off of that close hairpin to the final straight, and we have a caution, and it looks like it was boosted.
Boosted, yeah. And Roar, by the way, Roar has front wing damage. He's missing his right end plate, which, as we know in this game, will cause you a lot of downforce issues. So he may dive into the pits at the end of lap 1, but maybe Karma coming back to haunt him on that one as we see 3 cars coming into the pits.
It is the 2 Aston Martins and Mr. Basil in the Alfa Romeo.
So that means these Aston Martins, Roar is going to get held up in the pits here.
Oh, and
behind
Dark
his teammate
Stomper.
Tim Shapop. Dark
So,
Stomper comes in as well, but the Aston Martins are having to double stack him. It's taken a long time. Tim Shapop's sitting there for a long time, and Roar's going to be sat there for even longer. As he's also got a 5-second penalty by the looks of things. Oh no, he wasn't. Sorry, they were just getting to the wing. So yeah, that's crazy. But a really good start by Jake Sabre, I have to say. Rabbi also making a good start. I believe he's up 3 positions.
oh, another caution, and it looks like it was Tough Wave off of the first. Well, no, that's the second chicane. Flea gets a 3-second time penalty, and so does DxT Cons. Ace Bosworth is closing in on that rear ring of the Ferrari. I'm looking through the battles. We have King David closing in on Brian and his Red Bull teammate RSI Markey.
Yeah, and you've also got Yo-Yo right on the back of that one, and Kingsholm not too far behind.
Oh.
A little bit of a gap then to DxT Cons, but he's got H. Bosworth all over the back of them as they come into the chicane. We'll see if he can get past going into turn 1. The Williams fighting with the Ferrari.
Oh!
Kingsholm!
Big wait, is that Kingsholm? No, that is Lee! Lee has spun off of the exit of the chicane and has completely lost his front wing, which is terrible for him, mainly because of the location of where he did the damage right after the pit entry. So now he's gonna have a whole lap.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a whole lap of broken wing.
So he's going to lose positions just trying to get back to the pits, and then he'll lose more when he's in the pits. He should be able to go on and put those mediums on.
H. Bosworth.
Yep.
He goes around the outside. Oh, and it looks like Cons was just about to squeeze him off, but H. Bosworth was a whole car ahead, and now Tommy is gonna try and get a little something. He does have the softer compounds. He goes on the inside of the hairpin, and he is a whole car ahead. Amazing stuff for both Tommy and H. Bosworth. Those mediums for DxT Cons is not doing him too well. But now he's going to have, all 3 of them is going to have DRS at this point. Oh, DxT Cons is going to shoot, does he shoot on the outside? No, he's going into the pits. Oh, yeah, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
So I think he had damage, and then he's got a 5-second for that. So again, he's another one that's just going to fall down the grid. As Richard looks like he just made it. Did he make a move on Tommy, or were they?
Yeah, he did. I actually just caught that. Right after the chicane, you still have DRS from that second DRS zone, DRS detection, and he was able to get an overtake and take that position from Tommy, and now Richard's in the points.
Yeah, having a look at King David, he's trying to make a move going down into the third chicane, but he decides to back out because he was on the wrong side on Brian van der Berg. So keep an eye on that one as they come down the straight with the DRS, but Brian should have the DRS off of Markey.
Yep, but Tim Shapop gets a 3-second time penalty, but we also should keep an eye on King David as he has not stopped battling that Red Bull in front of him in Brian Vandenberg. Yeah, sorry. And it looks like DxT Cons has spun. Oh, King David's gonna shoot on the inside of the chicane. They touch.
Oh no.
King David. Oh, that's gonna give a double overtake to Yo-Yo. But the thing was, Brian was squeezed out, and now them two are still battling as it stands. Little nudge from King David, but he does have the lead. He does have 6th place. He leads ahead of that Red Bull. A pretty aggressive battle between them two. Looks like some tension between them now for the rest of this race. But let's see how they manage the rest of this. We're gonna go back to the front of the grid with Lucas A. Germany having DRS. But the thing is, Jake Sabre is just so quick on those mediums, so quick on them, and it's mainly because of his driving line is outstanding in Canada.
Yeah, he's doing a great job out in front, especially on those medium tyres. He'll be saving his ERS and using it when he can and when he needs to. I have to say, by the way, Brian van der Berg, it's a bit of a racing incident, but I put the blame on him. You can't go too wide into that last chicane. He should have just backed out. He was on the outside. It's not really a place where you can go with a car alongside you.
It's going to take...
Yep.
He is now ahead of Jake Sabre, and I'm actually looking at Jake Sabre right now. Once he gets to a better position, and actually it looks like Kingsholm gets a 3-second time penalty for going a bit aggressive. But during the hairpins, Jake Sabre has continuously done lockups on that front wheel, and I can already see a bold spot on that front right. So that's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a long race for him if he does that. But he has to remember he's also on the medium tires. He's on a completely different strategy to Lucas. So yes, he can keep up, but you don't need to push it. Just let him drag you around with the DRS. Keep behind him. You don't need to be fighting and losing time to the likes of Rabbi and Mark because we know they're both quick. Just keep on the track. You're on a different strategy, and it should be the better strategy, especially if it's going to rain a little later on. But we've got a bit of a train behind Yo-Yo with King David, Brian, and King's Home. A little bit of a train appearing there, a little DRS train between three drivers, I believe. So the Alpine's trying to make a move on the Mercedes up ahead.
Well, let's see if he does. Oh, look, Jake Saber retakes it, and it looks like it's a back and forth battle between Jake Saber and Lucas A. Germany, as every time they get the overtake is during the DRS zone.
DRS can be quite strong here, as long as you get the move done. But yeah, a little bit of a ding-dong battle out in front, but that should go on for a few more laps before they have to think about pitting. But it's a good one to watch throughout this race. But there's plenty of battles going on behind. Still the battle for 5th and 6th continues. And we're also seeing battles a little further down with Tim Shapop trying to get past the medium tyres of Boosted in the McLaren as they come down the pit straight.
Well, let's see how he does. Let's see if he can get the position. But we're gonna stay with this four-way battle for 5th place. But actually, it looks like King David is getting a pretty good gap to Brian now, as Brian is now out of DRS zone, detection zone now.
Tim Shapop into the second chicane has managed to make it past Boosted, so he's 10 seconds behind Nemvidic, but he's got the pace, so he'll close that up in no time. But a good little battle out in front, but Lucas seems to have fallen back and is no longer in DRS range on this lap.
Alright, well, it looks like the two battles right now. Looks like King David is going to try and get a battle on Yo-Yo with the DRS, and King's Home gets the overtake on Brian. Amazing stuff. King David's on the outside of the chicane. He backs out of it. Safe option there. Good job. He still has a lot of race left in the Canadian Grand Prix. And also, he has the DRS. I didn't realize there was a DRS after that chicane, to be honest with you. But, you live and you learn.
Yeah, whoever gets DRS for the main long straight also gets DRS on the pit straight. So if you do get past, you then get DRS again. It's not two separate detection zones. It's one detection zone just at the hairpin for both of them. So yeah, it's not a rule I like because you're then giving advantage to a car who's just made an overtake, but that's the rules.
Oh, and it looks like a caution.
King's Home.
Is that King's Home? That is King's Home.
Yeah, he's had a spin, yeah. He was doing really well in a fight. I don't know what happened, I didn't see it, but he spun around and I think he lost about 4 or 5 positions there. He
yeah,
was,
but it looks like Mr. Basil got a move. Looks like Mr. Basil got a move on a tough wave there, making his way up to 16th. But the closest battle so far is Richard and H. Bosworth. And Richard has done... Sorry.
Oh, there goes Richard! He's just spun coming off the hairpin.
Oh, no.
Lost traction on the rear wheels. He's gone into the wall on the right-hand side. He's lost his entire front wing, so he's now going to have to go back to the pits and get that repaired. Started in 18th. He'd managed to move his way up to 9th, so he'd done really well to get up there.
But King David, off of turn 1, is going to get a whole car length ahead of Yo-Yo, and he's going to take 4th place. Amazing overtake from there. That second DRS zone really helped him out there. Well, the two-parter DRS zones. So he's going to take that position, but now Yo-Yo just has to stay within that 1 second mark. So when it comes to the final straights, he will have an opportunity to overtake. And when it comes to this DRS zone right here, even if you have DRS, I don't think it will be best to overtake at that point. I think you should be patient, wait for the next DRS zone, and just when it matters, make the job done.
Yeah, it all depends on the exit from the last chicane, how well you're been doing that, and how well you think you can do it over your opponent, as to whether you go for it on the first straight or not. So we've had a few people come in the pits already. We just seen Marky come in to put fresh mediums on. We saw King's Home come in to put softs on. I don't know, he had a spin, didn't he? And then we saw Richard after his spin come in and put the softs on. So grid's a little messed up at the moment as the Alpine of King David comes into the pits.
Yep, and it looks, I don't know if you see that, but the whole sky is gray. Completely gray now. Richard gets a 3-second time penalty. Very unfortunate race for him for getting crashed out and the qualifying to now being all the way down to 17th. And we have another, is that a spin? I don't, No, I think that's just a glitch for that caution point right there.
In Sector 1, yeah. I think we got a glitch on it. I don't know if you can view people who are in the pits at the moment, but they seem to be sat there for a very long time. Which I think is a bit of a glitch. So that's alright. So it's also good to see people going out on different strategies. So King David just came in the pits from soft tyres and he's put on another set of soft tyres, whereas Tommy came in from soft tyres and he has put on
Oh,
the mediums.
full safety car.
Yeah, Flea's just crashed. I don't know where that would have been. I'm trying to see his car.
Oh, that's on the final. We're gonna look at Jake Saber. That's right after the chicane. Well, actually, oh, Jake Saber's
There he
staying
is,
out
yeah,
actually.
he's
Oh,
parked.
and he's blocking
He's parked on the. Yeah.
Oh, that's so upsetting. We're
He's
gonna look
lost
on
it
Yo-Yo to see if
coming
we
out.
get a better look at that, because it
He's
looks like
lost it
his
coming out the last chicane.
yeah, it looks like a lot of people on the softs now are coming out if they have not pitted, and that's gonna give H. Actually, did H. Bosworth pit yet? H. Bosworth has
Uh,
not pitted. He is on
he's in the
10
pits
laps
now.
on softs.
Oh
Same
no,
goes
it's
with
not. No.
Lucas. Same goes with Lucas A. Germany. Do you think they're gonna try and hold out until the wet weather comes in? But the thing is, if they try and do that, the wet weather, the slicks are still gonna be good enough for a few of those laps.
I mean, if you said half an hour before rain, you're talking lap 25. And I do not believe those softs will go anywhere near lap 25, so it does really surprise me that they've not come in. It's the same with Nem Vidic, he's not come in. So I don't know if they maybe just didn't get the call from Jeff in time, but they still should have been able to work that out themselves and go in. As Tim Shapop is coming out on intermediate tyres.
Oh, he's gonna. Oh, same goes with Roar. They're both coming out on intermediates. They're
I
probably
haven't
gonna
seen
do
any
it.
rain.
I'm not seeing any
Have you?
rain neither, Steve. Do you think they were a little bit too early, birds, to the actual rain coming down? Because I don't see the safety cars staying out for much longer, or the rain starting in. But actually,
Unless
hold
they've...
on, this is actually genius. When the rain comes in, everyone else is gonna start having to pit. So if the rain comes down right now, they would be perfect.
But only if the rain starts coming now. If the rain's in 5 laps, those tyres will be gone. They'll need to pit again no matter what. So unless they've spoken to Jeff and asked when the rain's coming and Jeff said the rain will be here any minute, then that may be a genius move, like what you're saying. It may rain in the next lap or two and they may get away with it, but anything over 3 or 4 laps of dry running on intermediate tyres, you will wear out those tyres. And if the rain is coming, then that does maybe make sense for the likes of Lucas and H. Bosworth to stay out on the tyres they're on. But it all depends on when this rain is coming, and unfortunately, as commentators, we don't get to know.
We don't get to know, and neither does the drivers until they ask Jeff. But the thing is, sometimes Jeff doesn't even know until it's too late. So,
Yeah, Jeff doesn't always know what he's saying, does he?
no, he does not. DxT Cons is actually coming in now. Is he coming for the intermediates?
Let's have a look and see at his pit stop. He is coming
He
in for
is.
intermediates, yeah. So he's also served a 5-second penalty in the pits, I think, or he was getting a front wing change. But yeah, he's intermediates as well, so interesting. We can't see any rain. And yeah, this is either a really bold move or a move that's going to destroy their entire race, because Tim Shapop, even under safety car conditions, oh, it is raining. It's starting to rain.
It is?
Yeah, if you look at Tim Shapop on board, you can see little splatters of rain every so often. But I was just saying, he cannot keep that car on the road with those intermediates at the moment. And even under safety car conditions, he's struggling to catch up with Kingsholm. So he needs that rain to come down, and he needs it to come down fast.
The safety car is still staying out in this lap.
But I just wonder, is Tim going to wear away those tyres too much? Or is he going to get away with this one?
But that's the thing, though. The rain is starting to come in, and the safety car is still out for a whole other race. So now the rain is going to build up. The rain is definitely going to build up now. And look, a lot of people are coming into the pits now.
Yeah, that's them all coming in for inters. So this may very well work out for Tim Shapop. You just wonder how much he's taken off those tyres so far.
Well, I mean,
same with King David's coming in. We're seeing pretty much everyone come in except the front runners, which is surprising because...
Oh, actually, hold on. Roar might actually battle someone for the exit of the pit lane, and it looks like it could be King David. Does King David stay in front of Roar? He does, actually. He does. Oh, but let's see. Does Tommy? Tommy stays ahead, but he came out on the mediums.
Yeah, I don't think he's meant to do that. I think that's a mistake, and he's going to pay for that one because he's going to have to come back in and get a set of intermediates, which is going to put him probably to the back of this grid. But if the front lot pit now, they'll fall back towards the back of the grid, and if they pit once the safety car comes in, they're definitely at the back of the grid. So this is really not good for the top 8 drivers, unless the rain doesn't come down fast enough, and they can pull away on those slicks.
I don't
But they
know.
would
I'm
have
already
to.
seeing a little bit of puddles starting to build up right now, especially at the hairpin. And
And
the
what's a pit
safety
stop
car.
around 18 seconds?
Oh, yo, it's over. It's basically over. I already saw how Jake Saber was braking right before the hairpin, and he is struggling. He is struggling to get grip on those rear tires, and now everyone else behind him is gonna start paying for that. As Tough Wave has got a 5-second time penalty.
For a
And
collision, yeah.
KTD, you have said it perfectly, my friend. This is going to get very, very, very interesting. Jake Saber's
Right,
going to
well, this
go
is.
now,
And he's
but
coming in the
oh,
pits. I don't understand this. And they're all coming in. This
they're
is
all
way too
coming
late.
in.
They're falling to the back of the grid. This is all that's going to happen now.
But it's too late. The thing is, it's too late. They don't want to pull Lando Norris, so that's going to give Tim Shapop the lead after the safety car, and Roar up to third with King David second, Kingsholm fourth.
And this has
What?
killed H. Bosworth because he had to double stack behind his teammate Jake Saber, and now he's lost even more time in the pits. So this really hasn't worked out for the top lot. They should have just come in under the safety car when they would have had a chance to not lose as many positions. But we've just gone from Jake Saber leading this race to 8th place. We just have to wonder how Tim's tyres will do. And he's managed to work his way through the grid without having to really work his way through the grid.
Yeah, so he's done amazingly well. And KTD just says that he cannot believe this. Neither can we, to be honest. Neither can we. But as it stands right now, the rain is coming in, and is coming in heavily. Do you think midway, do you think around lap 27 or 28, they might box in for the wets instead of the intermediates?
If the rain comes down hard, then they'll have to. If not, I don't think these inters will go to the end of the race. Inters, I think, will do about 12 laps, so they will have to come in and put another set of inters on, but they'll be able to judge it better at the time when they do have to pit, whether they put on another set of inters or not. We've got a Sector 1
DxT
yellow
Cons
flag, I think
has
it's for
retired.
Tommy.
Cons has retired now. He actually
DxT
crashed
Cons.
off of turn 2, and now there's a spin out at the
Yo-yo.
end with Yo-Yo going down the pecking order, and now he's gonna Tough Wave. Well, Tough Wave is lapped actually. Oh, and they better slow down. Okay, there we go. The marshals are able to get that car off of the track. So we are still underway. There's no safety car now.
I'm watching RSI Markey at the moment. It looks like Kingsholm's struggling in these wet weather conditions. Markey all over the back of that car. He's just able to brake a little later and get the traction down a little sooner. So
And
Kingsholm's
Tommy has
Joe
spun
seems to be
now.
struggling.
Tommy has
spun.
spun. Right where actually Cons got crashed. So now Tommy has spun off of turn 2. No safety car, we're still underway. But look at the lead that Tim Shapop has.
Yeah, he got a great breakaway from the safety car, and he's put that to his advantage. King David, he's got Roar all over the back of him, so a lot of big battles, and it's the weather comes out, and it proves the difference between those who have practiced in wet weather conditions and those who haven't, because it really gets extremely slippery out there. Your braking zones change to a good 50 meters earlier than normal, and your traction just is nowhere near as good. So it'll really show who's been practicing. It'll also show if anybody did put on a wet weather setup or not. The likes of Tim Shapop may have been able to get away with it after getting disqualified in quali, but a lot of battles going on at the moment. Lucas A. Germany on the back of Boosted. A good battle for 4th at the moment. Kingsholm, Markey, Richard and Jake Saber, and that safety car as well worked out for Richard, who was near the back of the grid after his crash, and he's now managed to work his way back up to 6th after starting 18th.
Yeah, sorry, you are totally right there. A huge comeback for him. And do you think he has the skill to overtake these two cars and battle Roar for his position, see if he can get some sort of revenge from the qualifying session?
They may be able to. I know that Richard's fast in the wet. Mark is showing he's faster than Joe at the moment. He just can't find a way through. But I think Richard is the faster driver over Mark in the wet. That's from my league. They'll also be in a party together. So if Mark isn't faster than Richard, if they do get past King's Home, then he may just let him through. So keep an eye on that one as Richard gets a 3-second time penalty. But I'm on board with Richard, and I didn't see where that would be.
I actually have no idea neither, but it looks like, yeah, King's Home is still going to be leading that battle for 4th place. But yeah, there's still a caution in Sector 1. I think just that turn is a huge glitch. And it looks like King David now has a 3-second time penalty. Same with Boosted. These drivers are going really aggressive on these turns just to keep their position. King's Home goes a little bit wide there, almost spins off of the exit of turn 2. But yeah, so that's going to give RSI Marquez a little bit closer to that AlphaTauri rear wing.
Boosted has just been overtaken by Rabbi, I believe, and Boosted struggling to get that car slowed down. But yeah, RSI Marquez doing a good job. He's all over the back of Joe, and it looks like he might be able to make a move coming down here if he can get alongside, which he might not be able to do on this lap. And one thing that will hurt these drivers in terms of overtaking is no DRS under wet weather conditions, so they're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way.
They will, but it looks like RSI Marquez is going to go on the outside of the hairpin. But the thing is, I think that's not going to be the best position for him to see if he can attack. Of course, he's going to have the better, faster exit, but he's not going to get any slipstream, and
no.
he pushes King's Home out. RSI Marquez, what was that all about?
I don't know if Joe moved over or Marquez moved over. I would have to see that one again. I was on board.
It was Marquez that moved over.
That was poor driving. I don't know if they're going to have damage or not, but after starting 18th, Richard up to 4th.
So good thing that he wasn't in that battle, because it could have been him, and also King's Home, it was the one to have front wing damage because of that. King's Home could potentially speak with the stewards after this to see if there's any penalty points. If we do have a new message. Well, the thing is, King's Home, well, KTD just said that he thinks that King's Home did lose the rear.
Okay, so King's Home may have...
I don't think so. That's the thing. I don't think he lost the rear. From what I saw, King's Home was following the racing line, and there was plenty of space for RSI Marquez to stay on the left side. Oh, and actually, hold on, as I say this,
Oof.
Jake Saber gets the position off of Richard. Great
That was a bit of a late move. That was a bit of a late move, I thought, but he's made it work, and no damage to either car, so they can carry on.
Yeah, so amazing stuff between them.
Yeah, one thing to note is Nem Vidic in 17th is coming to the pits, and he has put the full wet tyres on. And we're
same
also
goes with
seeing
Tough
Wave. Yeah, so maybe getting very slippery out there, and time for the full wets, as you mentioned, might happen, and it's just whether or not now those full wets will go to the end or not.
Well, they most likely... Well, I mean, it is the wet tire compound, so I believe myself, I think they will. But that's the only thing is...
He's in the pits. He's going to go into the full wets as well.
Lucas A. Germany gets a 3-second time penalty.
No, Mark's put on a fresh set of inters and getting a nose change. I think there was damage when he had that coming together. With King's Home, he just may not have known it at the time. Sometimes
or do you think he was increasing the downforce?
He might have been, but you would usually do that if you're going to put the full wets on. Surprising if the full wets are working, which I'm trying to keep an eye on the times. At the moment, Nem Vidic is just losing time hand over fist to the car in front.
A lot of drivers are currently getting a bunch of time penalties. We're actually going to take this time to actually look at the time penalties. And we almost have a full grid of time penalties. Tim Shapup with 3 seconds, King David with 6, Jake Saber with 3, Richard with 9 seconds, Brian with 9, Lucas A. Germany with 3, Boosted with 9, and then the rest have 3 seconds except for Nem Vidic, who has 6 in 17th place. So it's going to be a very, very struggling time for a lot of these drivers, especially on those penalties. But as it stands right now, it's a 1-2 for the Aston Martin team.
Yeah, if Roar can keep it going, it's a 1-2. I think you've got to have a stewards meeting after the race to see what you want to do about that. But considering the poor start he had, he's managed to work his way back up into 3rd, so well done to him.
Actually, can you take over from here? I actually got a few missed calls.
Yeah, that's fine. So Roar Did a good job. He got caught up in the beginning and fell to the back, but he's one of the ones that came into the pits along with Tim Shapop under the safety car and put on those inters preempting the rain coming. I'm trying to watch. Obviously, you guys might not see what I'm seeing. The two wet weather tyres, the full wet guys, I don't believe are making up any ground on the cars in front, so it is still interweather at the moment. Battle-wise, we're looking at Lucas A. Germany on Brian Vanderberg, only half a second between them. But people are really starting to struggle to overtake now because there's no DRS. It's all about traction and who can get the better traction, especially coming out of the hairpin in the last chicane. Outside of that, you're going to struggle to overtake round here. Usually the best of times, but especially in the wet weather. We've got a yellow flag out. I don't see anybody falling down as Brian Vanderberg cuts the track. He didn't even bother trying to go for that chicane. And he's managed to gain a second over Lucas, so I don't know if he got given a penalty. Let me have a look. He's on 9 seconds now, so yes, he was given a penalty for that one. Some other battles to look at. Up at the front, Roar, he's losing a little bit of time to King David out in front. Tim Shapop looking very comfortable out in first.
Alright, well, I am back.
RSI.
I am back now. But it looks like the closest battle right now is actually King's Home on Mr. Basil. King's Home gets the job done after the what's it called, the hairpin, right before that second DRS zone. And it looks like King's Home is going to keep that position, but no, he is a whole 11, well, basically 12 seconds behind Boosted in 11th place.
Mr. Basil comes into the pits.
Do you think he might be going for the wets as well?
I'm going to watch him if you can keep an eye on the battle. Yo-Yo and RSI Marky going down to turn 1.
Yo-Yo and RSI Marky. Marky is staying on the outside. He nudges that Mercedes to the side. Very aggressive from that Red Bull. It's like the real life between Verstappen and Hamilton. But Yo-Yo is going to keep on battling to that chicane. But RSI Marky is a whole car ahead now as he takes 13th place. And he's going to start eyeing down King's Home.
Well, they've already had it coming together, so we've got to watch that one. Mr. Basil, by the way, put on fresh inters and needed a front wing change, so I believe that's the reason for him pitting. The only other battle I can see on the track at the moment is Lucas A. Germany on Brian Vanderberg. He's been sat behind him, came down to about a second the last time, back to about 0.7 now, but it's just not able to catch up properly. These traction zones becoming a pain. But the battle for 12th with King's Home, Marky and Yo-Yo is an interesting one, especially considering Joe and Mark have already come together in this race.
They have. I think it was between laps 15 and 19 when that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still gotta say, the Aston Martin team has timed their pit stops very well again. So hats off to them and hats off to their Jeff for actually giving them the right information. I hope I've received that sometimes. But I think that was Mr. Basil. Mr. Basil has spun off of the hairpin, and now he's gonna have Tim Shapop right behind him. And also Tough Wave is letting a few drivers through. I think they prematurely went on those wets. Those wets have been struggling to keep traction. Oh, but it looks like Jake Saber is closing in on Roar from overtaking
Mr.
Richard.
Coming to pits again.
Mr. Basil
gets a 5-second penalty. He came in the pits on the last lap, so I'll see what.
He might retire right now. I think he's most likely going to try and retire.
He's put the inters on. He's getting another fresh front wing. That's 2 sets of inters and 2 front wings in the last 2 laps.
Oh, but as it stands right now, we have a few battles on the track. We have a 3-way battle for second, and I'm actually going to go down to Brian and Lucas A. Germany, as that's going to be a battle for 8th place. A few battles here and there. King's Home with RSI Marky right behind him. But it looks like the closest battle right now is Lucas A. Germany and Brian. But the most interesting one, it is for second place with Jake Saber, Roar 222 Ding, and King David for second place. But Tim Shapop is a whole 9 seconds ahead of King David. Amazing restart from that safety car for Tim Shapop and Aston Martin all around. Hold on, Jake Saber is closing in on Roar. Let's see if he gets the move done here. He's going to look on the inside. He's going to brake late. He locks the front wheels. And he takes that position. Amazing stuff from Jake Saber. But the thing is, Roar's not going to take that too lightly. He's going to try and see if he can get some slipstream and catch up and see if he can get that position. Lucas A. Germany has overtaken Brian Vandenberg. And Ryan
Brian was
Vandenberg
forced
is
to cut
falling
the
down.
chicane a little bit, and he is spun coming off of that chicane as Lucas got past him. So I think it was a late move by Lucas, but a good move. And Brian just had to get out of it, and he's ended up losing more than just the one position. He's only lost two, but he's lost about, I think that's about 9 seconds altogether. So unfortunate for him, as Richard gets past Roar now, as Roar went into the pits for a fresh set of intermediates.
Yeah, and KTD says it best. Jake Saber is continuously pushing. Can you actually see? I actually want to see this. What's the difference in lap times between Jake Saber and Tim Shapop? Because I want to see if he actually has some sort of chance to battle that front runner.
Well, I'll be able to tell you, if you keep an eye on the battles, I'll be able to tell you the lap times at the end of this lap.
Got you sorted, my
Tell you
man.
what
And
they're
Roar
doing.
gets a 3-second time penalty now. That's increasing for him.
And Jake all over the back of King David. He's not going to be able to make a move here into the hairpin. So I'm keeping an eye on the times for you, just to let you know what times Tim Shapop and Jake Saber are doing to see if he's actually closing that gap or not. But King
Well,
David,
Tim Shapop is about to finish his lap right now.
oh, little squirrely. So here comes Tim Shapop, and on this lap he's done a 119.5. We'll be able to see what Jake's done, but we also have to remember that Jake's been stuck behind King David on this lap, and it may not be as fast. So a 119.5 for Tim Shapop, a 120.6 for Jake Saber, so 1.1 seconds slower. Jake Saber really needs to get past King David in a hurry.
He does, and he does have the skills. But as it stands right now, we are about to start the 25th lap, and
Oh,
looks
I've
like
just
there's a
glitched out. It
glitch.
says Tim Shapop's 14th, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a glitch. It is not true. Tim Shapop is still leading this race. Sorry about that glitch, guys. And yep, and now it's saying that Richard has the lead. I think that's what he wanted, to be honest. But
No Rabbi, yeah.
yeah, it's a whole glitch going on through here, lads. I'm so sorry about this. The game, I mean, granted, the game is made by EA Sports, so it is kind of a given that this stuff happens.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of glitches on FIFA 22 that came out a week ago. A lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
complaining about that, yeah.
Well, I've been complaining about it for a long time, especially during the penalties. I always get a blurry screen instead of a focus screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Tim Shapop is still leading. He's about to cross the finish line to finish the 25th lap, and now we are officially 10 laps away. Wait, hold on. Now it's saying, hold on, what's going on here?
I
Has it
think
messed
mine's
up the
reset.
lap system?
I think it did. I think it's catching up with itself now because Tim Shapop's back in first. Jake Saber, though, coming to the pits, which looks like a fresh set of intermediates for him. Although now he's back on the main straight, so yeah, this game is not having a good time at the moment.
It is not. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. There's nothing that we
Oh, I
can
just
do in
crashed.
the stewards.
I've just crashed.
Who just crashed?
My game.
Oh, you crashed out of the game.
I am on a frozen screen at the moment.
Okay, quickly exit out. I'll see if I can shoot you guys I'll shoot you an invite. Guys, I am so sorry. You will see a blue screen coming up in a few seconds. I am so sorry for this. Codemasters has really, well, not Codemasters, but EA Sports has really messed up this. Please bear with me for a few seconds. You might have to restart your app before you can click on the invite, by the way, Steve. Yeah, I can't even send you an invite just yet because you haven't fully glitched out of it.
There you go, I'm out now.
Alright. Let's see, what is going on with this? If it gets any worse, we might actually have a few people start leaving the game, and if that's the case, we might have to do a 5-lapper on the wets. That would be kind of interesting, but the thing is, I think that would kind of be unfair. Because look at the gaps it is right now.
Right, second new invite. There you go. Hopefully
Yeah,
I'll be
just
back
sent
in
it
a
to you.
second, guys.
Guys, I am so sorry for that. Sorry for the inconvenience of all of this. But as it stands right now, I think, Red as I was about to say it, I was going to say, oh, I think it's fixed. No, it's not. Oh, Lord, Codemasters, please fix this, because this is going to make my job, and Steve's job, and anyone's, job here, a tough one.
Yeah, it
because it's
makes it
saying
tough,
it's
and if the
stuck on the.
game does crash, it becomes really unfair on those racing.
Oh, and it has fully crashed. I am now out.
Are you out? Okay, well
I
I'm
am
just
now
joining back
completely
in.
out. Jake Saber has left. I think everyone has left now. I think everything has gone to utter poo, I should say, at this
Yeah.
point. This is not good at all. Hello, PB. How you doing, buddy? Here's my cat outside. But yeah. I am so sorry, you guys. I am so sorry for this. The thing is, even if we end the race right now, we don't even know what positions anyone was in.
No, I think this would maybe have to be a postponed race. I don't think you could do it again tonight because that would be a long night, but something would have to be worked out whether you just did this race again next week or not. I don't know. That's up to you guys, but I'm not able to get back into this at the moment. I've been stuck
Well,
on a
this
black
the whole.
freeze
I
wait
think
screen.
everyone left. I think the whole session has just gone crashed. Yeah, Richard has said it. Rabbi has said it. Like, I think the whole game crashed.
Yeah, I'm not getting back into this one.
Is Joe still in his party with Lee?
I don't know. I can go and check. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to stop the stream right here. Again, I am so sorry for this, lads. I am really utter sorry for any of this. No, this should not have happened. Nothing of this caliber should have happened. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I am really upset, and I'm really sorry for all of this. We're gonna have to stop the stream right now, and if we are gonna race again, we're gonna have to do a restart. I don't know if the race is gonna end just like that. I don't see it because a lot of people are still in the pits, but only time will tell. If you guys want to see if we have another race today, if it's happening, please make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed this video. You have left a lot of comments, so thank you so much for the interaction between commentator and commenter. But also make sure you subscribe. We're trying to reach 150 subscribers until midway of December, where the season ends. And also we want to see if we can get a few more viewers on the Pointless Point podcast. And please, if you guys want to be notified every time we upload, make sure you hit that bell button. Make sure it's completely full so you're notified anytime that we upload anything onto this channel. I hope you guys have enjoyed your day, and hopefully we'll be back in a few minutes. But if not, it was a goodbye for me. Steve, any news?
Jump over to the chat with Lee. I believe they're just going to call it there and award 75%, 50% points.
Okay.
Jump over to the other chat, buddy.
All right. Well, I'm so sorry again for this, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed a lot of close battles today, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this race. If you have not, we totally understand. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's a goodbye from me. Very unfortunate. I'm so sorry.